Today, we're going to go over what a model selector is in N8N. If you've created an AI agent before, you'll know that you have to add a chat model similar to the agent down on the right here. But now with the new model selector node, you can just come in here, type in model selector, and now we can add these to our AI agents, and it will allow us to choose from different LLMs here. So we can go OpenRouter, we can select 4.1 mini, and before we would only have access to one of these. So it would be OpenAI, Perplexity, whatever you want to use. But now we can actually use both of them. So if we add in Gemini, let's say, right now we have access to Google Gemini as well as GPT 4.1 mini, and that is something that we could not do before. Having these model selectors is really great because it enables our agents to have access to all these different models. And for example, my content agent, I have it set up in a way that it knows what models it has access to. And every time I type in a word here, so for example, if I type in Twitter, I know that it is going to use model number 1, which is 4.1 mini. And so if we type that out right now, we'll go, hey, write me a Twitter post about AI agents. It knows to use GPT 4.1 mini because that's how I have it routed inside of the model selector. Now it just wrote me out a small tweet here. I chose 4.1 mini for that task because there's just a small amount of text. If you want to go deeper and maybe do some blog writing, then we can use something like Claude Sonnet, which is just better at writing heavy content. So if we look down here, I have model number 2 and model number 3. So model number 2, which is Google Gemini, I have that for our blog. And for LinkedIn, we have model number 3. And so if we want to write a LinkedIn post, we don't want to be using one of those smaller LLMs. We want to use something more solid. So we're going to write a LinkedIn post right now, and it's going to use Claude Sonnet, which is the 3rd model in our model selector. So let's go, hey, write me a LinkedIn post about my journey in New York City as a financial director. Because I said the word LinkedIn in my chat, it knows to use Claude Sonnet. And so this is just really helpful for all of your agents moving forward, so it knows what different LLMs to select for you. So let's see here. Reflecting on my journey as a financial director in the city that never sleeps. So it writes us a LinkedIn post here, and it uses Claude Sonnet to do that. So it'll be much better than some of these smaller models like Gemini as well as 4.1 mini. And so I'm going to show you exactly how to set these up right now. And so you can start using the model selector yourself. Let's get rid of all of these. We will actually just open up a new workflow here. We'll start building out this AI agent. So first thing we're going to need to do is add in a chat trigger. And this will allow us to talk to our AI agent. And now we'll just press tab, AI agent, and we will connect the two. And now if we type something into our AI agent, hey, it says a chat model subnode must be connected and enabled. And that's because we don't have a chat model here. Now, usually what you would do is just add in either OpenAI or OpenRouter. And so this is what you would do prior, right? You would have a chat model connected to your AI agent, but now what we can do is use that model selector instead. So we're going to get rid of this model here. We're going to add in our model selector first, and then we're going to add in 3 inputs. And what these 3 inputs will be are 3 different models. Now from here, we're going to type in OpenRouter, and we'll go 4.1 mini. Sounds good to me. And we're going to use OpenRouter for all of our models just to keep it simple for you guys. So you can just enter in one API key, which I'll show you how to do in a second. So for the next one, we'll just go GPT-4o. And our model number 3 will be OpenRouter as well. And let's see here. Let's just use 3.5 turbo. Sure, Why not? Okay, so we've got our 3 different models here. And I should have mentioned this before, but if you haven't connected to OpenRouter, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that right now. But that is pretty much the concept. We're just selecting our 3 different LLMs. So we have 4.1 mini, 4.0, as well as 3.5 turbo. Now, in order to connect to OpenRouter, you'll need to select the model selector here. Excuse me, you'll need to select each LLM, and we'll go and create ourselves a new credential. And so you see that you need an API key here. Now what you need to do is come to OpenRouter.ai. You need to create an account. Once you create an account, maybe sign in with Google or your Gmail, you'll come over to credits and you'll see I have $10 in credits available. You're going to need to add a credit card, top it up with $10, and then put a limit on it for $5 or $10 so you don't overspend. Once you have enough credits in here, you're going to come over to API keys, go create an API key, type in a name. So I'll just go N8N3. Doesn't really matter what the name is. Now I can copy this API key over and I can enter it into my OpenRouter. And so I'm going to retry this and save. And there we go. Let's just go ahead and type in a message and see what happens here. So it says there's an error in subnode model selector. So there's an error in our model selector here, and that is because our message can't get through to any of our models. So we're going to go into our model selector and add in a few different rules. And these are rules for each of our models. So we'll go model number 1, model number 2, and model number 3. All of the conditions that we set are in here inside of our model selector. If you come to is equal to, you can change it to string, number, date and time, Boolean, array, or an object. Now for this example, we're just going to stick to the previous example that we had before. So we're going to change this over to contains, which will be inside of a string. And all this is doing is saying if our chat input here has this word, which for example, we'll just do Twitter. If our chat input, which will be our value here, if our chat input contains the word Twitter, you're going to use model number 1. If our chat input contains the word, let's go blog, then we're going to use model number 2. If our chat input contains, let's switch this over to model number 3. If our model number 3, if our chat input has the word LinkedIn, then we'll use model number 3. And I recommend to keep these words in a lowercase format. If you put a capital letter, that sometimes will mess up your output because it doesn't get the correct input and it'll use a different model instead. So let's switch this back over to a lowercase. And now we've got our model selector all finished. Next thing we have to do is I just like to add in this prompt here. Sorry, we're going a little backwards here. Should have added this first, but let's just keep it rolling anyways. We will add an option and we're going to add a system message. And this is just giving our AI agent some rules to go based off of. And we're going to change this to expression. I copy and pasted this in. You can just type it out. And so it says, you are a helpful assistant. You have access to different LLMs, 4.1 mini, Gemini, Sonnet 4. Please select the right model per task. And right here, we're actually going to say you are a helpful content assistant. And that is what the AI agent knows about itself and the rules to follow. So we've got the chat incoming into our agent. Let's just rename this to content agent as well. And back at this prompt here, we actually need to change the access to the different LLMs that it has. So this was from prior, so just delete all of these and we'll start from scratch here and just go based off the models that we have. So OpenRouter chat model, we've got access to 4.1 mini, 4.0, and 3.5 turbo. So we'll just let it know that. GPT, I think it was 3.5. Now if we refresh this, we're going to ask our agent, hey, write me a Twitter post about the financial market of 2025. Okay, using GPT-4o for a concise and engaging Twitter post, the financial market in 2025 is set to transform with AI-driven trading, blockchain innovations, and sustainable investing. And so because I typed in the word Twitter in my chat message, it used model number 1. Now let's see, for model number 2, we need to type in the word blog. Write me a blog about cryptocurrency today. My agent actually just errored out because I told it to write me a blog, and it says error in subnode model selector. And so we have an error here. And the reason for that is because for our model number 1, we changed this to contains, and our model number 2 and 3 we left as is equal to. So we also need to change this to contains for both of them, and then our agent will work properly. So we'll go contains. So if our agent contains the word blog, it's going to use model number 2. If our agent contains the word LinkedIn, it's going to use model number 3. And so we'll just ask it, go write me a blog about crypto today. And now you can see that it's using GPT-4o, and it's going to write us a blog about crypto because we entered in the word blog. And there we go. For this task, I used GPT-4o to create a well-informed, engaging blog. Crypto in 2023. And so that is an issue right there, navigating the ever-evolving digital frontier. So it gave us a really good blog. The only problem is that it's set in 2023. And so what we need to do to fix that is we're going to come to our system message, and we're just going to go, the date and time is curly bracket money sign now. And that just lets our agent know the current date and time. And if you look on the result here, you'll see that the date and time is 2025, and it gives the time of my location here. Now, another step you could do for this is come up to your settings on the top right, go to time zone, and I'm going to switch this to the Toronto time zone, which is my time zone. Just change it to yours. So make sure you do that inside of your content agent system prompt, as well as in your actual N8N settings here. If we just do this again, repeat the task, let's see what it gives us. I'm asking it to write me a blog about crypto today. And so it should give me more accurate information, and at least write that the blog is in 2025. We're using the model select content agent to the model selector and through to GPT-4o. And there we go, navigating the dynamic world of cryptocurrency in 25. And it outputs a blog post for us. Now for the last example, if we type in the word LinkedIn into our chat, then it will use model number 3, 3.5 turbo. And for this example, I just realized that we actually used 3 different GPT models, which is completely fine. The other example that we did, we actually used Gemini. So if you came in here, you'd have to select Gemini chat model, and you could select that. So actually, let's just do that for model number 3. Let's go Gemini. I completely forgot about Google Gemini. So let's just do that right here. And so this was just added the other day by N8N with the native Gemini nodes. And for this, unfortunately, you have to get another API key. It's not the same as OpenRouter. And so you'll come over here to credentials, and the same thing as OpenRouter, you just need an API key. Now what you need to do from there is go over to Google AI Studio. If you don't have Google Cloud Platform account, I will leave a video either in the top or the description below. Once you're signed in there and signed into Google AI Studio, you go to usage and billing, which will bring you to Google Cloud Platform right here, and you can select that in the bottom right. Now from there, you will need to create an API key, select your Google Cloud project, and you just create an API key, copy it over, and now you have access to Google Gemini. So instead of using the last OpenRouter model, so GPT-4 and 4.1 mini, we're now using Google Gemini 2.5 Flash. And so if we come over here, we'll just let our agent know that we've also got Google Gemini Flash. And pretty much what this is doing is it's not actually selecting the model for us. That's what the model selector does, but it's just going to let us know what model it actually used. So if we come over to our last blog post, sometimes it will actually say what model that it used, if we could find it here. So there you go. So for this task, I will use GPT-4o to create a well-informed and engaging blog. And so it uses the model selector as well as that prompt in here to actually let us know what model that it used. So now our agent knows that we are using Gemini Flash as well. Now we have to change it in our model selector. Actually, we do not. It's using model number 3, so it doesn't really know the difference. So model number 3, when we type in LinkedIn, it's going to use model number 3, and that is Google Gemini. Write me a LinkedIn post about my AI agency. It is using the content agent to the model selector and now using Gemini 2.5 Flash. And here we go. Here's a draft for your LinkedIn post, ready to truly leverage AI in your business. Your agency name, we're not just talking about AI, we're building intelligent solutions, whether you're exploring your first AI project, looking to scale existing initiatives, what's one area in your business. Anyways, there is a LinkedIn post for my AI agency, and we've used the model selector for multiple different examples here. I really think the model selector is great. Instead of having access to only one, like GPT or Perplexity, we have access to all 3 of these for different tasks that we want our agent to complete. And so if you guys are thinking of downloading this template, you can come and download it for free in my Skool, the AI Automations Club. Come over to my classroom section, go to build automations, and you'll have access to all of my templates here. You just come down the bottom of the page and you will click the resources, download the JSON file, and you'll be good to go. So I will see you inside. What do you guys think of the model selector N8N? Is it useful? Is it not useful? Let me know down in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.